Hello, I'm one M2 of Paladin's Highlights, and today I want to present you with something different, a guide about how to make a proper loadout for supports. So let's get started. First I want to start with the main supports Janus, Ceres and Maldambo, and then we will go over the other champions in the support row like Rover, Pip and Groch, which did latest damage, and the secondary healers. So let's get started. As Janus we have like a lot of important cards, but Retrograde is the most important one. You should always have it on 5. The other cards which are like super important are the Self-Heal from Relativity, Astral Cycle and Light Years. I personally like Relativity on 30 points, so that's how my loadout looks. The range is also pretty good since you don't have to be put in a lot of danger to heal people, and the duration is like helping a little bit too. I also like the Void Grip range for like fewer card. You can also have like this card or this card or whatever you prefer. If I'm playing damage, I personally will go with this loadout, Retrograde 5, some self-heal for yourself, which is like super important if you're playing damage or putting yourself in danger a lot. 40% damage reduction, and probably like this card or this card. You can also have like whatever you prefer here. Level 1 cards are like preference most of the times. So for Ceres like the reduction of heal is like again the most important card. Here for Veil I'm not sure like if I want like 3 or 4 points, but I think like 2 might put you in a lot of danger since you don't have your escape fast enough, and like 5 might be a little bit too much. I like a little bit of movement speed on my like F ability, and that's like some movement speed which helps you a lot to reposition yourself in fights, and some self-heal. I don't think there are like a lot of other good cards. I might consider like the HP cards the only other good card. The Renzo have like 2 long cooldowns, so it's not worth 4 points into it. And you don't need self-heal from Shadow Trial since you have it here, and it's like better. Let's go over Maldamba. Maldamba is a little bit different, like the heal cards like super good, but there are some people which prefer to not play it. I personally always want to play it on maximum level, since even if you miss you can instantly help your teammates by healing them and save them. Another important card is Swift Spirits. It gives a lot of movement speed and help your team out while healing them. Manichord is like the third most important card in my opinion, or the second depending if you play Eerie Presence or not. And I put the other 3 points there. For my fewer cards I put like 50 HP and like reduce cooldown after getting eliminations. I'm not sure if this card is good, but for now I'm using this. You can also have like bigger speed on the court. Maybe this card which review envious enemies and enemies who are sitting on your court. This card is totally useless since you either need for level 5 or 1 is useless. This card is also fine, this card is fine. Like this card is useless again. Some people like using reload speed, but they don't think like 4 point, which is like 400 credits worth. And most of the times enemies will buy resilience anyway, so your storm late game will be meaningless. These are 2 cards which I might consider rolling, but I don't think like 15 health per second is enough. You probably need a couple of points into it to make worth sustain. I prefer just to run out of combat and heal enemies without shooting while regenerating. And this card can give you some self-sustain. You might like use it if you think you will be under a lot of pressure from flankers. So let's go over to people which can also be played as support and damager. For damager I like Side Tanks 5. That's like probably the most important card in my opinion, since like it gives your Catalyst legendary more value by having it more often. Midterm-ness is like core card. You can have it to level 1 or 2. I don't like it on 3. Gift Giver 4 is pretty good for some self-sustain, and you can heal allies while healing yourself. I like the cooldown of Wayless. It gives you a little bit more often your mobility. And some movement speed with jump speed, which is also pretty good, I think. Reward seems fine too, but I don't think I need it as danger. I don't think 5% which eliminations reduce so active cooldowns is worth it. This card is pretty decent, but I prefer to run this all out. If you want to play like more aggressive style with play like Weightless, you will definitely need this card. So let's go to the healing loadout. People forgot it. So for the healing loadout there are like a lot of good cards, but that's the most important card you always need it on 5. About this card, I'm not sure like if you need it on 5, but it's pretty good to make your heals way more consistent, plus you can heal like enemies who are behind the wall like more consistently. This is a fewer card, I'm not sure if you need it, but I think some movement speed is nice to help your teammates. Gift Giver 3 is enough, I think, since you have like 100% more healing of allies. And some amount right click, which is like pretty important on level 1 or 2, I think. You can also have like side tanks, but I'm not sure which one is better. I think I still prefer to always have one after right clicking. About any other cards, I don't think any other cards are worth for the support. Maybe this one is good if you are under flank pressure. You won't need to reposition so much with healing tips, so I think this card's not needed. And that's it for the pip. Let's go over to Groh. That's the loadout which I like using for damage. Arc Whiting 5M. Like on some maps you might like go over this card with a couple of points, since it's not so big, but I want to try it on 5 and see how it works. I haven't played Overgrowth Growth in the new patch. Reduce the overheat by 20%, I think that's pretty important card. And help your DPS a lot, since you don't have to wait until it overcharge. Some movement speed is pretty good level 1, and that's another fewer card I want to use. You can also use like, I'm using like this card on level 3, but you can also use like KO for self-sustain. But usually like, now since the healers are like super good, you probably won't need like to be like secondary healer or something to give like healing source to your team a lot. So that's the loadout which I use to damage growth. This card is also pretty good, but I'm not sure if I have slot for it. I think the other cards are better. You can probably have it instead of this card, which heals you on right clicks. So let's go to the last champion, Grower. Grower can be played as secondary healer as Crochin. And let's see, that's my healing loadout. So usually like Grower is pretty easy to hit opponents and make eliminations. Like your acts are super fast and super consistent, so I think this card is a must. This card is also a must, since like if you're playing heal, you see more closer to teammates, so giving them healing like more often is like super important. Increase the radius of Blossom, I think that's also pretty important card, since you don't want yourself to be like super in the front with Grower. Some self-sustain with Barskin and some increased find range. I think this card is pretty good, since like when you have it heal, you want to reposition closer up to heal your allies, since they nerfed the range of the Blossom in OB66, I think, or 7, I'm not sure. And that's it, let's see. I think these two cards are also decent, but I think the other cards are more important. This card is also pretty decent, and I think that they're all the good cards. So let's go over to Damage Grower. For Damage Grower, I think this is the most important card again. I will put like more points into self-sustain since you don't need like the heal that much. I'm not sure, like actually you might want to put the heal more points on nice here, but for now I'm playing with this. And some cripple. The cripple is pretty good on danger since you can secure kills like easier. And some radius of heal. You can still heal from time to time, it's pretty good. Okay, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching and see you again next time.